What's up, y'all? Jakob Owens here for the Buff Nerds, and today I'm going to talk about possibly the best drone for your money, the Parrot Anafi. So the drone market has obviously exploded over the last several years in the filmmaking community. Smaller and more affordable drones have been coming out with more and more features, and Parrot was kind enough to send me their new drone to give my honest feedback and review of. So I'm going to get into the good, the bad, and ugly about this drone, but right off the bat I want to say this is probably one of the best drones you can get for your money. For anyone looking for a good starter drone or a drone that they can learn to fly and get into the, drone game, I feel like this is a very appropriate and fitting drone for that. So this is coming from somebody who has zero drone experience and is just pulling the drone out of the box, and these are my first impressions with it, what I liked about it, and what I think could use some work. So first off, in the box, you got your drone, you got your remote, you got a memory card, you got the cable, you got 8 extra propellers, and a carrying case. I was surprised right when I pulled it out how small it really was. It is teeny tiny, fits in the palm of your hand, and just super small and portable, which right off the bat is something that I like. One of the reasons I never also wanted a drone in the first place, or to fly drones, is to have to carry it everywhere, transport it everywhere. But when you have a drone that's the size of your hand, it makes flying, operating, traveling with a drone or this piece of equipment super easy, and something that's a lot more enticing. But yeah, I pulled it right out of the box, opened it up, set it up, took just a couple minutes really. I downloaded the app, connected very fast, super user friendly, calibrated it a couple times, set it down on the ground and took off, started flying. So my initial experience right from the jump, super easy to use, super easy to set up. Again, no experience with drones coming from me, and I was able to get it up into the air and start filming and recording in under 15 minutes, which was super awesome. So yeah, right off the bat when I was up there flying it around, just super easy to get up in the air, super easy to fly. The controls are seamless, didn't have any connection issues. A lot of really cool, unique features with the drone and the camera that I'm going to get into right now, and just start listing off all the good things that I liked about the drone. I believe it's the most silent drone on the market. I think it says that on their website, but it was extremely quiet. I've been around drones a lot, and this one was very, very quiet. So it's a very discreet drone. Going by discreetness, it's small, it's portable, it's lightweight, it's super light. And one of the other cool features, because it is so light, is that you can actually take it off from your hand. So that was another really cool, unique feature. You can just hold it out, you hit a take off from hand button, and you literally just toss it up in the air and it starts flying. So that was a really cool, unique feature, because if you're in an area where you can't really take it off from the ground or whatever, or you just have it in your hand, you can just throw it up in the air and it starts flying. So that I found really, really, really cool. The other thing I really noticed about it, it had great battery life. I believe 25 minutes of runtime. It felt like I was up in the air forever. And at one point we were shooting and we had some strangers come up to us and like, is that thing still up in the air? So the battery life on these drones are really, really good. Not to mention, again, super light and portable. This is the drone battery right here, and just plug in, charge USB-C on the go. So it's also a very super portable, chargeable battery. Again, going back to ease of use, the controller is super clean, simple, small. Again, I really have no experience flying drones, and right away I was picking up all the controls.
So my favorite feature about this drone is honestly this zoom function on the back of the controller here. With this little trigger right here, you can zoom in and out with the camera, and you can do some really cool effects with this. You can actually zoom in as you fly the drone backwards and create this really cool vertigo effect that's pretty widely popular and people try and emulate.
Me and Travis are out here shooting some stuff for Parrot drones. We got the new Anafi drone up in the air, and it's really cool actually. You can do like a really cool digital zoom in on it, like with the camera. So like zooms way in and zooms way out, which is pretty fire.
So the Anafi's innovative zoom technology enables up to a 2.8 lossless digital zoom in full HD. The lossless zoom allows you to get closer without any resolution loss. You can change the focal length and get close to the action while remaining at a safe distance. Thanks to Anafi's embedded artificial intelligence, you can take advantage of automated flight modes like Cameraman and Follow Me. So with the Follow Me mode, the drone will automatically follow you with precision wherever you go.
I was just out running around, walking around my backyard, not touching the remote controls at all, and the drone was just tracking my every move. I went out to my backyard, simply double clicked on myself in the frame, and the camera and the Parrot Anafi would simply track me wherever I went. I didn't even have to touch the controller. I could set the controller down and run around my yard, or I could control the drone, fly high, far away, near, close, and I wouldn't have to touch the actual camera because the camera and the gimbal itself would follow me wherever I moved, even if I didn't move and I moved the drone itself. It was super intuitive, super smart, and honestly it was really fun to play around with, just to see everything I could do, and the drone was following my every move. It was honestly pretty incredible.
Touching on camera features as well, the rotation of the actual gimbal itself can do a full 180 degrees, so the camera can look straight up or it can look straight down. So I found that to be really cool. If you want to look straight up, you can look straight up, look straight down, you can look straight down. So the movement within the camera and the gimbal itself is very unique. With most drones today, you have the return to home feature. If it'd be kind of really far out there, just hit return to home, or change, hit the little button, return to home, or land on, the monitor there, and it would come right back, fly in. I could either land it on my hand or land it on the ground, depending where I was. So that was another cool feature, is just as much as I could let it take off from the hand, I could let it land on my hand as well. So that was another little bonus for sure. So when flying the drone, changing the settings was super easy, from the white balance to the ISO to the shutter. All that stuff was super easy to change and adjust right there on the monitor, as well as like the camera profile. P-Log is their basically flat cinema style picture profile, and it was really good. It retained a lot of information. It looked like there was a good amount of dynamic range there. So shooting with P-Log on this thing is another great feature, and actually it was very clean, very sharp as well. Another mode which I like was 4K HDR. So if you want to shoot 4K HDR video, there is a mode for that. So that's a pretty cool and unique feature that I don't think a lot of drones have. So if you're into that, it's got that as well. Alright, that's all the good stuff. So now let's get into the cons, or what I thought were the things that needed a little work with the drone. So first up is the SD card slot, the micro SD card slot. It's not really a slot that you push into. It's kind of this thing you set on and then you clamp down over it. So it feels very flimsy and breakable, so you just got to be very cautious with that and careful, and make sure you don't break that, or that you set it up and insert it correctly. Otherwise you may break it, or you may not even record any footage because you didn't insert it properly. Now, one of the biggest issues I had with it was there's no obstacle avoidance with this drone. So you got to be careful when flying it. You have to have your eye on it, know your surroundings, and really be aware of what you're flying and where you're flying. With the drone, I was flying it, I had no issues. I passed it off to my buddy so that he could get some aerial shots with the drone and have some experience flying with it. And then he actually ended up crashing into a tree. He didn't see it coming, he was just backing up, and then on the monitor all of a sudden we just hit a tree and we lost the drone. So no obstacle avoidance. Just got to keep your eye on the drone at all times and make sure that you're not going to run into anything. With the HDR mode that I mentioned before, you can get a little grain or a little noise, so just be aware of that. It's not super apparent at all, it's just slightly there, so I thought I would just mention that. The last thing I could maybe say con-wise is the drone itself. It doesn't really have a gimbal lock, so for transportation it's going to be kind of flying around. You can't really lock it in. And it is the material is a little bit more plasticky, if you will, but that's also what helps keep it super lightweight and portable. So kind of a balance of a pro and a con there. But yeah, outside of that, I really don't have too much bad to say about it. Outside of maybe I wish it did 4K 60 frames a second. It only does 4K 30 frames a second, but that was perfect for me. That's all I needed, that little bit of slow motion. And you could set the drone to cinema mode, which when you set it to the cinema mode, it flies really slow and smooth, almost like it is in slow motion. So that little combo was fine and worked for me. If you want 60 frames, it doesn't have 60 frames, but I didn't really find an issue with that. I was totally fine with the 4K 30, and it looked really good. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I really like the drone. I think that it's something I would definitely use. It's so small and portable. It takes great video. I would put it in comparison to even the Phantom 4 Pro's video. We just did a trip to Hawaii where we used tons of that footage, and I had this footage side by side with that, and it looked pretty much identical. So if you're looking for a good drone, a starter drone to get you into the game, but that holds the quality of the more professional end cameras and the Mavics and the DJIs, which cost $1,500, this one is literally like less than half of the price of those types of drones, and the quality upholds itself to those types of drones as well. So if you're looking for a drone that's small, portable, and can do all those things that those other drones can, then the Parrot Anafi is for you. I'll make sure to link the Parrot in the description below, so if you want to go check out the website or learn more about the drone or see more features, I'll link that in the description below, so go check that out. Alright guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm Jakob Owens for the Buff Nerds, and I'm out.